Welcome to West Coast Grandma. I've had a few people asking me why I haven't posted any videos for the past couple of weeks, but to be honest, I've had a horrible couple of weeks. My dad passed away and I am still missing him terribly. So I haven't kind of been up to posting anything or creating any videos, but the day after tomorrow, all my family is coming up. We're having a lumberjack party out in our fire pit in the backyard, and we're having chili and all those good outdoor things. I thought I'd make one of those simple loaves just to take outside and serve, a chocolate zucchini loaf. Of course, because I have so many zucchini still. So I'm going to mix this all up here and I'm going to pop it in the oven, and it's not going to take me very long. I had everything measured out first. I just thought that would be a little easier, but I will put the recipe in the comments below as well. So first of all, I have 1 cup, and this is einkorn flour because I just really like the flavor of that. So 1 cup of einkorn flour. It's a 1/2 cup, and this is organic, just baker's chocolate powder. Cocoa powder, I should say, not chocolate powder, cocoa powder. And 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Here we are. And 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And what did I put in this one? 3/4 cup of, this is organic, unsweetened, shredded, where's my bag here? This one right here, coconut. You can use chocolate chips, but I just find that too much chocolate is just not my favorite thing. So it's chocolatey enough as it is. I just like the coconut, and especially because I'm going to use coconut oil. So it's a great mixture of the chocolate and the coconut flavor, which I love. So there we are. Alrighty, I'm going to get my little whisk. We're just going to whisk these dry ingredients together, like so. Good. That's all I need to do there. And then I'm getting out my old ancient mixer. This is a 1958. And you know, I have a brand new stand mixer, but nothing compares to this one. And plus, it's very nostalgic for me because my mom used one the same as this, and growing up, I totally remember her mixing up cakes and everything else. So I kind of like this one. So here we have 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil. So I'm going to pop that in. Yeah, because I find the coconut oil definitely has its own flavor. It adds, you know, that to whatever you're making. So I kind of thought with the coconut flakes, that would be delicious. So I'm going to put 3 eggs in. It actually calls for 2 eggs, 2 large eggs, and these are eggs from Flatlander's farm up the road, and these are her young chickens, and they're not very big yet. So I thought I would just add 3. So let's pop this on slowly. Good. It's also nice and quiet. So I also have in here 1/3 cup of sour cream. Now you can use Greek yogurt if you have that, but I didn't have any yogurt, but I did have the sour cream. So that's 1/3 cup. There's that one. And this is 2/3 cup of sugar. Now, of course, you guys know me by now. I use this sugar replacement, and it tastes delicious in this loaf. You can't tell the difference. And of course, no sugar. So we're going to add that. 2/3 cup. There we go. And I also have 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to put that in. We're just going to give this a little mix up. Make sure we got it scraped off the bottom. There. And that's about all there is to that. So I am going to take this off my mixer. And we are going to pour these ingredients into the dry. But before I pour it in, I'm just going to pop this off and switch these over. And I'm just going to put this back down, and I'm going to add all my wet ingredients right into the dried ingredients I already had mixed up. All right, and I preset my oven already to 350. Yeah, it's really hard to lose a parent, I tell you. Especially my dad, who I was very close to. Used to take him out for lunch every week. He's 93, and it was just sort of unexpected. So anyway, we'll get back into the groove. Good, so let's speed that up a bit. You gotta love these old mixers, really, don't you? I mean, they're just so much better. I mean, I know that, you know, you can get the great KitchenAids and all that kind of thing, but I don't know, this one does the trick really well too. And I think that's probably good, because all we really wanted to do is blend it. So I'm gonna unplug it, because I'm gonna take my beaters off and scrape those. And of course we wouldn't do that with them in and plugged in, because you never know, it could just come on. Okay, we're just gonna get this off here. Now this recipe is just to make one loaf. Sometimes one loaf is good. Typically I would make it and make 2 loaves, because it always makes more sense when you can just put one in the freezer. But today I'm just making one, just because I wanted to show you the recipe while I was doing it. Perfect. Alrighty. And there's our batter all mixed up. And now I am going to fold in 2 cups of grated zucchini. Now the grated zucchini, you do not have to sponge the liquid out of it or the water out of it. You can just use all that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pour that into there. Seems like a lot, but it's always very good. And I'm going to get my wooden spoon. And we're just going to give this a brief mix just to get it all blended together. And then we're just going to put it in the loaf pan and pop it into the oven. I just have one little trick to show you. I know you sort of think that everybody has seen everything by now, but this was my mom's trick when I was little. I always remember her doing it. So I'll just show you, because you never know, you might not know. We need to have my loaf pan, and I find that sometimes, even though you spray it, it does stick on the bottom. And in fact, the last time I made it, it did. A piece came out, and I was kind of mad at myself for not doing my usual little trick here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take wax paper. Now, if you had, say, a layer cake, you'll take your piece of wax paper and just take it and fold it in half, and then do what I'm going to show you. And then you'll end out with 2, and then you have one for each pan. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like that, take my scissors, and I'm just going to go right around here, just like so. This is a really good way to just stop that bottom always sticking. And then when you take it out of the pan after it's cooked, it falls out so much easier. And then you just peel this piece of wax paper off the bottom. So it's very, very easy. Good. So I'll get my vegetable spray. And I'm just going to give my pan, look at that, isn't that a cool old loaf pan? Just a little shot here. And I'm going to take my piece of wax paper that I cut, and I'm just going to place it in the very bottom, just like that. And now I'm just going to spoon all my batter into my loaf pan, right on top of that wax paper. It really does work. This is really, really delicious, this recipe. I know the kids are all going to be excited, because I'm making chili, like I said, garlic bread, and of course the chili is because I have so many tomatoes in my garden, tomatoes, onions, peppers, and I'm going to make the whole thing with as much as I can out of the garden. So just take your spatula and just get all the last of this batter out. And there it is. I can smell the coconut. I love coconut and chocolate together. Now this doesn't even need any kind of frosting on the top. It's just perfect the way it is. So I'm just going to spread that out. And then I'm just going to pop it in the oven for 50 to 55 minutes. So I very carefully do check with a knife. I put it in to make sure it comes out clean. And if not, I'll put it in for 5 more minutes because you do not want a soggy loaf. So I'm going to pop it into my oven, and when it's done, I will show you. Alrighty, welcome back. So the timer went. I tested it to make sure that it was cooked. The one thing I did forget to say is just put a piece of tin foil on about the last half. Just stops it from getting too well done on the top. The other thing is it's only 1.5 cups of grated zucchini, not 2 cups. So, and also it was 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but that's what happens when your head is a little bit full of other things today. But I will write that recipe out in the comments, so you can definitely follow it along there and it'll all be right. So I'm just going to show you how this wax paper works in the bottom. We're just going to flip this over. And you see how it comes out, and then you just take this piece of wax paper and you just peel that off the bottom. This is the best thing. It just stops because you can never get a knife underneath it to loosen it if it's a little bit stuck or whatever. So just cut out that square, just go around your pan, whatever size it is with the scissors, cut it out and put it in the bottom of your pan, a piece of wax paper, and it works every time. So hope you've enjoyed that. Find the recipe down in my comments. West Coast Grandma is signing out.